I think the admissions process was probably the most amazing experience, because the moment that you pick up that phone and you call the facility, it's that from the moment that they take over, it's just this huge relief. You know, they just ask for your details, and the person on the end of the phone says, this will be okay. We can help. Don't worry. And it's very smooth. It took about an hour and a half, and I was just texting her details, and within an hour and a half, they told us, you know, the facility that we to go to, and that they would be waiting on the other side. And you know, we were very nervous. We were a very nervous family. This has never happened to us, and we didn't know what to expect. And we walked into a beautiful family home with other children who were welcomed us, and you know, I could tell my daughter suddenly felt a little bit more relaxed the moment she walked in, and I felt, when I left her that night, I felt that she was in really safe hands, and that everything had been taken care of, and I felt very comfortable. I felt that that this was a company that had the needs of my child and understood how this was going to be, and I felt very comfortable about sending her here. The therapy itself, it started, for Georgie, it started, you know, intensely that week. And for me and her father, we came in within a few days, and we started doing therapy together, which we'd never done before. And it was so good to have somebody that was there almost as a mediator for us to understand how to talk to each other, and talk each other's language, which was a really important thing that you don't know how to help, and when there are problems, they need to be cleared out. And sometimes it's great to be in a room with somebody that really understands how to monitor and how to ask the right questions. And for our therapist to ask Georgia, my daughter, the right questions so that she could answer, because maybe I'd been asking the wrong questions and I didn't know how to get through to her. And you know, since then, when there is a problem, she sits down and she'll say, this is what's going on, and I no longer have fear of it. I can sit down, look at her and say, okay, so this is how, you know, this is how we're going to work it out. And you know, there's been a few times since then that has happened, and we know how to talk to each other. We know each other's language now, which hopefully is something that we're going to have for our whole lives, of understanding each other in a whole different way. So yes, the therapy was amazing. It was good personally, and it was good for the family. The Saturday workshops are probably the best idea, because as you're in the facility, you meet all the other children and you see their struggles, and you see them the day that they come in, and they're sometimes scared and they're frightened, and you see them open up, and then you meet their families and all the issues that all of us are having. And no longer, you're not isolated anymore. You're not on your own. You're with this community of people that are going through the same problems at the same time. And because you have therapists there to help you, it's dealt with in such a confident manner that you feel that you're in a safe environment, really, to air whatever problems you're having, and your children can. And all of a sudden they know how to speak a language and understand each other and help you to understand what they're going through. So it's really an incredible experience, and I feel very close to the families of all the children that have graduated, because we've all been through similar circumstances, and some of them aren't similar, but you can feel for each other, and you can really understand mental health and how it affects all of you, and it's not such a fearful thing. It's, you know, we can all deal with things together. So I think that's what it taught me. I think when your child has probably not been into a facility before and may not have had this kind of treatment of mental health. There's an anxiety. We all have these anxieties as parents, and I would tell any parent to just take a breath and believe in this sort of this system, because it does work. And as nervous as you are right now about how your child is going to cope if they're away from you, it gives them so many skills. And you see, I see from my daughter, because she's been sort of in the big wide world now for a few months, and I see how well she copes with certain situations and her empathy for others, and how well she's feeling inside herself. That gave her so many skills. And yes, she was away from me for some of that time, but I was also able to help her have the skills, and it gave us all some breathing room to figure things out and figure out what was best for her. So I would tell anyone, give this a try. It is an amazing process, and you will learn and you will watch your child grow in ways that you never thought that they would. So just do it. I really didn't know what to expect from a treatment facility. I had no idea how they would be. I think in my head I thought of something that was very institutionalized, and kids in sort of these single little rooms inside hospitals. I didn't really know what to expect, and so the day I walked in, I was amazed. It's a little family home, and the staff are so happy and caring, and it doesn't feel like it is institutionalized. It does feel like a home, and the way that it's set up to make them feel like that. Yes, there has to be a lot of rules, obviously, their safety is important, but within that they give them a home, a home away from home. So the facility is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Georgia's treatment plan was very much tailored for her, and in actual fact, we ended up doing something quite different with Georgie. She didn't stay the whole time inside the facility. She didn't do 24/7. She did for the first 45 days, and then she came out and came back to the facility, which allowed her to try to be back to a normal life, but also gave her an ability to come back to the facility and talk about things that she'd learned and how that had changed. So when they go back to their regular life, how can that change? How do they break the cycles that they were in before? And we have had very real times where there's been moments where she's had to rethink that and think about how she was going to be moving ahead. And I think because of the fact that it was very individualized, it's really been very helpful for her. She's been able to have the support of Growth Extended, but have it in her life as she moved back into her real world. So it was an incredible experience to have both of them and for her to grow through that. The staff were probably the most dedicated set of staff to my daughter's needs, and every child that probably comes through the facility. They are so knowledgeable and educated about what they are doing and dealing with adolescents and the problems that happen, but also dealing with families and the complexity of families, where some families are small and there's only 3 of us, and some days there are 15 members of another family that show up. There's so many of them. So it's amazing to see how incredible the staff are at dealing with all the intricacies that come with not only getting the child to be able to function the way that they want to, but also the entire family network to help support them. So it was amazing to see the knowledge and the breadth of the knowledge that the staff have in dealing with this. And, you know, from the therapist to the psychiatrist to the day-to-day nurses, everybody is so aware of the situations and every child's individual needs. It's a very incredible moment. You know, the staff are incredible.